Welcome, music fam, to this week's Music Talk podcast. I am Victor, your music mentor. Look, before we move on, make sure you get a chance to subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook, or you can follow us on Instagram. Or you can go right to our website, www.sanctifiedsound.org. Hey, at the end of this, make sure that you stick around because we're going to give you some information that is going to change your life forever. All right, so come on back and we'll dive right in with our first guest. Welcome, music fam. This is Victor, your music mentor. I'm here with this week's Music Talks podcast, and I am here with a very good friend of mine, Mr. Anote. I'm not going to steal any of his thunder. I want him to introduce himself about what he does and how he became the man with the master plan. So Mr. Anote, what's going on?
I'm doing great, Vic. Doing great. Good to hear from you.
Sweet, man. Tell everybody who you are.
Okay, so first of all, thanks to you and your team for putting this together. Okay, I feel really honored to be here with you guys today.
Mm-hmm.
So my name is Anote Afeno. I'm a multidisciplinary design strategist. I creatively bring people and design closer together. I have a couple of degrees in design. At the Newman, I got a number of projects going on, local and international. So for me, I value core principles, which is service, experience, and innovation. I'm extremely interested in and skilled at learning and excelling at designing. So over the years, I've mastered design softwares ranging from Adobe, Serif, and I always look forward to bringing these experiences to every project in front of me. And I'm also interested in creative problem solving.
Yeah, creative
problem solving.
I've
developed, when working as a multidisciplinary design strategist for the past 15 years.
Yeah. So you've been doing design, and did it just start with you doing more graphic designs, or did you go off into websites and that's what started? Like, what started? How did it begin for you to be so attractive to this particular?
So for me, like art and design, it's a call. I don't just feel like it's a career path. But it's a call because I've always wanted to be where I am today. Like growing up as a child, I had this thing about me. Like I found myself, I was gifted in the arts, and thank God for my parents who they noticed this in me, and it kind of like really encouraged me.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with drawing, coloring, and with everything in fact, I really loved it. So I pushed myself further. Like I had to take up a degree in this, and I actually grew up in Africa, and I had my first degree in Africa, and I went abroad to get another degree in design.
So was it the struggle different? Like you said, you're from Africa. What part of Africa are you from?
Originally from Nigeria.
What's the differences in design and working with clients as opposed to being there? Is there any difference?
It is very tough. It is. Oh man, it's tough. And but all of those is something that's really helped me to get to where I am today because I've been able to muscle through. And right now, I think I'm just cruising.
Right. Like it's so easy here or something.
Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because just to show a little bit of light on that, like back in Africa, back in the day, although things have really changed with the coming of technology, internet, and all of that. Back in the day, like if you tell people you're going to study art and design, they'll tell you that's a cost for poor people because they just feel artists are broke the poor, they're not going to get money and stuff like that. But for me, I think I was one of the first guys in my, if not the only in my time, who like really pushed, you know, in my city, and like we got to make something good out of it.
Yeah.
So when I started doing a whole lot of stuff and people saw the success in it, they're like, hey, we could actually do this as well. So because I did a lot of crazy stuff
Hmm.
back in my city growing up. I had big billboards of my company, like something that was really daring at the time.
Yeah.
You would find it nowhere in the entire country. Art and design, advertising agencies. It was difficult for them to, show stuff like that. I spent a lot of money to put my brand up there, and I had to do a lot of take a lot of boisterous steps, and all that.
Hmm.
They paid up eventually.
Yeah. 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 Was it? You said that you were doing billboards and all of that type of stuff, and it's
Yeah,
hard to do that there. But were you more of a forerunner when it came to doing that type of stuff, or were people doing it already?
yeah, I was a foreigner.
Oh, okay.
Always have been. A pace setter, trip blazer. I always want to push myself and go where few people ever dare to go to.
Hmm.
So, and of course, it comes with a lot of criticisms and all of that. People
Hmm.
will say, "Hey, what are you trying to do? You're trying to prove a point." I'm like, "No, I'm paving the way for you guys." And
Yeah.
one of the truths I learned back then was sometimes the right thing to do is often the hardest thing.
Hmm.
You know, yeah,
Now
and
say
both
that
of them are
again.
kind of like linked together.
Say that
The right
again.
thing, the right thing to do is often the hardest thing to do, and
Wow.
sometimes the right thing and the hardest thing are the
Wow. Wow.
same.
That's 100% accurate. Wow. So when you put your stuff on billboards and you started really branding yourself now, was that for more bragging rights, or did you actually
No,
see dividends come in because of your face plastered everywhere?
for me, first of all, I'm an artist, and we see things differently.
Hmm.
If we see things the way people do, then we're an artist. We've got to be different.
Hmm.
While doing that, I wanted to make people know that your brand needs this kind of you know visual for itself.
Hmm.
And I decided to step out. I remember one the state, and what the big talk of town was. I had a sword, and I put it up on a big deal. It was real big,
Hmm.
and everybody they were calling me from left, right, and center, like, "Hey, how did you put that together? Your ideas and stuff." And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Yeah, it's what I do." And honestly, it pitched me against like some of the biggest design houses, and they were losing their clients, and they would call me. I actually did face a few threats,
Wow.
like you just little guy trying to take our jobs away, but it kind of,
Seriously?
yeah, it did, and it kind of built up a lot of courage in me, which it just made me know like I was on the right path. And a few times, I think about 3 or 4 times, they had to pour paint on my billboard. They had to cut
Wow.
them, break them. But it only motivated me to just keep moving. And I didn't know a lot of people were watching because they would call me and say, "Hey, we just saw your billboard was wrecked. It was pulled down and stuff." I'm like, yeah, that's the idea.
Wow. Probably inadvertently that brought you a lot more business and a lot more notoriety.
Of course it did.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
did.
Wow. So
It
you for
did.
real like that stuff it rarely happens here if ever.
Uh-huh.
That type of hate and that type of beef that's the
Yeah.
culture from Nigeria is that this is my
Yeah,
territory
at the
and
time. At the
wow.
time. I don't know of now because I've been away from there for a long time. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was really up running, and you'd have sometimes you get mobs call you
Hmm.
and they'll threaten you like, "Hey, if you have this kind of big stuff going on, which means you're making a lot of money, and we want cuts from it." So
That's
it was
crazy.
terrible.
Like the mob over graphics. That's crazy. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
yo.
yeah. Because like uh, the idea was what I did, or with my team, what we did at the time was like out of the blues,
Hmm.
nowhere ever, in the entire country of about 150 million people.
Yeah.
and we had digital billboards and stuff like that. It wasn't popular at the time. So when they see it, it's like, oh, this is like what we see in the movies, kind of stuff. So they're
Hmm.
like, these guys, they're really making a lot of money. So they would come to our office. They're like, hey, you're making a lot of money. We want cut. We want this. We want that.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. So, what made you
uh,
make that move to America, to the States?
love.
Okay. You still in
Straight
the
to the
movie, huh?
point. Yeah, man.
It's
So
love. Okay, I got you.
it's love, straight up.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
wife's here, and she made me move because, left for me, I'm very adventurous.
Hmm.
I wanted to tour the world. I wanted to go to Europe. I wanted to do a whole lot of stuff in Canada, Australia.
Yeah.
Just be very involved with art, design, entertainment, and all that.
Yeah.
But love brought me here.
Right. Right. Well, not that it can't happen. It's
Yeah,
just it's not happening like you originally planned it.
yeah,
Because it's not
which
too
is
late,
fine
but
also, which
yeah.
is totally good. And
Hmm.
honestly, I think I'm in a very beautiful place in my life,
Hmm.
and I don't think I want to ever trade it for anything. I'm in a very deep place. Yeah.
Man, that's what's up. So, do you work with? I imagine you don't have death threats when working with American.
Anymore. No, 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 I
I
don't.
mean, we just threaten to take our business to another, it's another artist, or we threaten to do it ourselves or something like that. But I mean, we're not,
Come on.
trying to, bust your door down and say, hey, you know what,
Yeah.
you didn't do this right. That's crazy, man. So, like,
Yeah.
do you when do you train at all? Do you do any type of training for people that want to learn how to do this type of stuff?
Back in the day, I did, but in the last few years, I haven't done that. So,
Hmm.
like here in the U.S., the challenge is really really high. We
Yeah.
got a lot of skills going on. We got a lot of apps, knowledge-based stuff left,
Hmm.
right, and center. So it's really challenging.
Yeah.
But in terms of training, I haven't done that.
Hmm.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you this earlier, like when you were in
Hmm.
Nigeria, like what was some of the biggest accounts that you've had that you were able to work with, biggest companies that you've been able to work with?
Okay, so it cut across construction,
Mm.
educational, political, academic, medical, religious. So we had a lot of stuff going on, and we were in a very big place, like in a very very big. Because I remember what year was this? About 10 years now, thereabout. So because we handled some of the presidential campaign
Hmm.
designs,
Wow.
and that was big. Yeah,
So was that like
that's
the,
really
the
big.
the top, like working for the president?
Yeah, that's tough stuff. Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
I did meet a few of them,
Hmm.
like top people and stuff, you know. And we did stuff for some of the big construction companies.
Yeah.
Did branding for them. We built websites for them,
No, wait. Let's
and a
go.
whole lot of stuff.
Let's go back to the president though. I mean, that's crazy. Like, how did that happen?
Someone who we did a job for was so impressed, and she was working with the presidency, and she had an NGO.
Hmm.
So she was so impressed. She told us like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you to come up and do this stuff." And I was like, "Whoa, like, are you for real?" She said, "Yeah." And they were sending me all these briefs and emails, and we had to travel to the state, to the capital,
Hmm.
and big rallies, campaign rallies, and of course, it involved a lot of big billboards, big designs, big pay also, and all that.
I can imagine.
And that was pretty good. It was stretchy, But there's a Navy SEAL philosophy that says the only easy day was yesterday. So
Wow.
it was good for me.
Wow. You in these quotes, man. The only easy day was yesterday. Man, that's crazy.
Come on.
That's true though, man. Like for real. Like
Yeah.
that's we're trying to make our easy days keep getting easier when
Yeah.
you got to keep grinding, you got to keep working, man.
Mhm.
Wow. So did you got a chance to actually meet the president of
Yeah, we did. We did. And I still have a few contacts with them, and not just for Nigeria.
Mhm.
I've got some, like some other African countries and all that.
So this would
So,
put you in the international state, right?
yes, it did.
Wow.
It did. And it's also granted me, I have had some privileges, like to travel and do design jobs outside of Nigeria. Because at the moment, let me see, we got projects in like 11 countries.
Mhm.
If I can remember. Yeah, about 11 countries,
Yeah.
US inclusive. So I feel really blessed. I feel very privileged. And it's something I'm always very grateful to God for, because my company or our company may not be as big as Sachi or Ogilvy and all that, but we've had some good stuff going on.
That's fantastic. So if someone was to come to you and say, "What's the first thing that I need to do to be able to become this master graphic designer?" What would you like? How would you tell them to start? Like, how do you start doing this type of stuff?
For me, first thing is just believe.
Hmm.
Always believe,
Yeah.
and develop passion in whatever you do.
So that's the
It's
question.
gonna keep you.
That's the question.
Yeah.
So, like, my audience is more like, give me some practical, what I'm saying? Some, like, what do I
Mhm.
do? Like, what type of pencil do I use? Or, what's the
So
best
you
sketch?
pick your tool. You
Yeah.
pick your tool and be a master of it.
Mm
Just pick your tool, be a master of it. It's your Like I said, the only easy day was yesterday.
hmm. Mm
So
hmm.
you have to fight it through, as much because like for me, I know it's different growing up in third world Africa and living in the US right now. So right
Yeah.
here in the US, we pretty much have everything.
Absolutely.
When I grew up in Africa, I didn't have anything. And even though I knew the right tools, I just didn't have access to them or I couldn't afford them at the time.
Yeah.
So I had to work overtime. I had to do extra jobs to be able to purchase some of the tools that I got at the time. When I was in Nigeria, I was one of the only few guys who had access to a Mac,
Mm.
to an Apple a computer. And I know I had to save, I had to work hard to get it, and that was a big deal. So if you're gonna make a career for yourself or build something for yourself, find your tool, find your passion, and never stop.
Yeah.
Never stop.
Wow. Okay. So, you do websites as well, right?
Websites, graphic design, logo design, branding, everything about the stuff.
So one of the things that Sanctified Sound we've been teaching folks is that your website is crucial to you as an
Hmm.
artist, really
Hmm.
as a business, because that's your online store. That's where everybody can go and find out everything about you. Like speak
Hmm.
to how important for a recording artist or anybody that's trying to get into any type of entertainment.
Yeah.
Speak to how important it really is.
Well, the thing is, it's too important, actually, if you ask me.
Hmm.
It is core. Like we can't do without it these days. 30 years ago, it probably would have been like, okay, something we can do it. But right now, the internet has come to stay.
Yeah.
Doing business online has come to stay. I don't know if we're going to get to it later, but COVID has changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people naturally wouldn't want to do video calls for one reason or the other. They really wouldn't want to get on the internet because, oh, it's fraudulent. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get, and all that. But right now, it's a new normal.
Right.
So I'll say to upcoming artists, or if you've been in the game for a while, upgrade. You need an upgrade of
Mm.
everything you do because people need to see you. And one of the pluses of being online today is you can be seen in places that you can't even pronounce the name. You can be seen in Kilimanjaro. People can watch you in Mount Kota Kinabalu in Malaysia.
Wow.
People in the Kalahari Desert in South Africa and Africa can watch you.
Yeah.
And you can get invitations from all over the world because you have a big fan base. So we were watching a show the other day that was from Spain,
Hmm.
and when they had the show going, they had no idea that it was already so big in the U.S. And
Wow.
how did that happen? Internet, So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like when you're coming up, go all out. It will cost you some money,
Yeah.
but because you know what you want,
Hmm.
you invest in it, So
You know what's crazy about that? Speaking of the COVID, I remember looking at an Easter service. Can't remember where this
mm,
was, but it was a different country. I want to say it's Spain, but
mm,
you know how they have the, I believe it's Italy, I think, but uh, the Catholic churches couldn't meet, and
yeah,
so for the first time in a very long time, all the churches were empty. And so this one
mm,
particular priest gets up and he puts his online. And he was telling folks, like, tell the news station, like, I don't think we'll ever go back to being just the way that we were before because the engagement was thousands of people
yeah.
tuning in, and that's something that he'd never experienced before.
They never had it. Yeah.
Right. And
Mm,
so it's getting people to embrace like you
mm,
said, it's the new normal. That's what
yeah.
we've been talking about a lot, is that this is the way it's going to be for a very long time. And so you have
Mm,
to change your tactic on how you
mm,
approach business. And so getting on the
mm,
internet is is so important. So, like we talked about with the website, what are like? Okay, so it's one thing to get a website, but
yeah.
it's another thing to know the important aspects of what is needed in a website. What
Mm.
would you say that the two or three most important things, if you're going to really begin to put your brand online, as far as the website is concerned, what does an artist need to have, is pertinent to have on their website?
Okay, so I just break it down, make it just very simple.
Hmm.
Um, Create a very good image of yourself.
Yeah.
Uh, your material and should be online, like people can listen to you, somehow. You've got Spotify, you've got SoundCloud, you've got YouTube, so you can have those channels there on your website, like people can click and listen. And you can throw out a few images about yourself. When people see you, something that's appealing that will make them want to have you, invite you, listen to you,
Hmm.
share your product and all that. And of course, there should be a means to reach out to you, to contact you, and all that. Okay, so
Okay.
like some of the services we do here, we do brand strategy,
Hmm.
we do brand experience, and communication design. And to break all of those out, we talk to our clients about creative strategy, communication strategy, content strategy, digital strategy, portfolio strategy, research and insights, social media campaigns, For brand experience, we have ergonomics, we've got exhibitions, retail, service design, and for communication design, we have direction, brand story, brand identity, content management systems, e-commerce, verbal identity, web, mobile UI. So just bringing it home, it's something I think it's not so difficult when you have clarity about it. It's just something that will really shoot you up and give you a kind of advantage that you need. Even if you think you're just starting, but the way you put yourself out there was going to attract people to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on social media?
It's a great tool. It's a blessing.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time, but stress the word tool.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
a
a
great
tool.
tool.
It's just a tool. It's not. It's not a website.
No, it's a great tool, and a lot of people don't know the potential in social media.
hmm
It's beyond you just posting pictures of yourself or commenting, liking and all that.
Yeah.
It's a great tool you can use not just personally but for business commercially. And I always want to encourage upcoming artists and all that, whatever, like make good use of it. Instead of there are things you can do on social media without paying anybody, like you're paying yourself,
What
and
are,
you get
What are some of the things that they
the
can do?
results. Like, for example, you can easily take a picture with your mobile phone, upload it, take a video of yourself, or make a video of yourself and upload it, and you share it. Now you can also on the other one hand go meet some videographers, graphic designers, brand strategies or whatever, pay them a couple thousand of dollars to do that same stuff for you.
hmm
Whereas you can do it by yourself, save yourself some money, you know?
Yeah.
But a lot of us don't do it the way we should.
Well, I think
And when
it's.
we do, it's like not with excellence, we just set it up, set up, a good background, professional background, get a good camera, clean your lens, your phone camera lens, and do a good shot of yourself.
Yeah.
Write something very creative, post it. You've got friends, you've got family. Hey, can y'all help me share this? Go like this, word of mouth. So it's not so difficult to get things started, but I feel sometimes we become very lazy or we don't have that drive for excellence. And then we think like, oh, I can't do this. You give in on yourself. You give up. You quit. But it's a tool that I think every artist should use.
Yeah, I think it's twofold though. One thing is, yes, you do have some lazy folks that don't know how to. I mean, that don't do that type of stuff. But then you have certain people that don't have the knowledge on, specifically how to do it effectively. I'm gonna put it that way. I mean, because anybody can take a picture, but it's
Mhm.
as far as like making it look the way that you want it to look. Some certain people, certain artists or certain businesses don't have the savvy, resourcefulness to be able to make it look attractive enough.
Mhm.
So what is your advice to those type of people who don't really know, they know how to do it, but how to really do it
Yeah.
on an effective level? What is your advice for them?
Okay. So for me, what I do is like in my company, I offer a lot of uh, freebies,
Hmm.
giveaways, complimentary services. And because we didn't just get to where we are overnight, like we were once a startup, we're still building, we're still growing. So I know what the challenges are.
hmm
And first of all, I always want to start with the people like, hey, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want? if you don't want it, you can't have it. Because you can't give anybody $1 million advice, but if they're not ready to move, they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So what I say to people, like for example, it's very like for social media, I think it's about consistency. You've got to be consistent.
So real quick, keep your thought because that's always been a debate. What do you
Mm.
stress most? Is it consistency or perfection?
I think they go hand in hand. So if you have something that is really perfect, like really sleek, really good,
Mm-hmm.
when you post it, even when you're not consistent, people will want to always go back to that stuff. This is so beautiful, right? This is so
Right.
sleek.
Mm-hmm.
They'll always want to make reference. But then, if you're not consistent, if you don't do like if you post one, make a post today, and next time you post it again, it's another 5 months, you're losing people. So even when you come back, because they don't see you often,
Mm-hmm.
you're already losing out on your users and customers and stuff like that.
So if someone was to, you have two different people. You have someone is just taking their time and making sure everything is perfect, but they don't do it as regularly as a consistent person that's just putting something good out. Which path would you say is better?
Well, like I said, they go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
You've just got to do it. You have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the challenge with social media is just what you talked about right now, the consistency part. Because I got to be honest with you, I do branding for companies. I do that, but I've had my moments with my own brand, like times like for a whole month, I didn't post nothing, like zero. you know.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge. And one way you could do that is set your alarm clock, schedule something to remind you to get your content, to get your materials, so you can just keep things going,
Mm-hmm.
nonstop. And the good thing is, once you started and you've gotten the hang of it and you're getting feedbacks and people are talking with you and you're responding back and forth, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes like a lifestyle,
Yeah.
becomes like a major part of you. And that way, you're always going to keep looking out to how you can upgrade, how you can be better. Your next post can be better than the last one.
Yeah.
So excellence is coming in, and of course, you get feedbacks from people. So you can use that to gauge and know how you do your next stuff.
Yeah, so you don't have to be perfect when you start. Just make sure you start
Not necessarily,
because you're
but it would be
heading
good to start up on something really good.
right. But you're heading towards perfection. Quick question though,
Yeah.
like how often do you think people should post?
Ideally, minimum thrice a week, 3 times a week.
3 times a week?
That's for me.
Yeah.
Minimum, minimum.
Oh,
Some people
minimum.
do 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Some people post 15, stuff like that, more, but for me personally, on my brand, we do 3 posts a week.
Wow. Yeah. I know one of my internet mentors, he does 5 times a day. But he's,
Uh-huh.
number one speaker in the world. So,
Yeah.
5 times a
So
day, if
that's
you
the
have
thing,
that type of
so
content coming
it's
in,
different.
yeah.
So as for me, it's better something than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And another thing, like for us, because of what we do, we may not have that kind of content material to post like every day. For him, as a
Right.
speaker, I can relate with that. Like, he's always
Mm-hmm.
saying quotes, giving stuff like that. So he can
Right.
post like a billion in a year. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And you have so much content to pull from,
Uh
so
huh.
you can
So
so you can do
short,
that.
short stuff, quotes rather. You can just put those and boom, you're up there. So I get that.
Yeah.
So like for artists, singers, musicians, and stuff like that, you may not have like uh, 5 posts a day and stuff. Except you've got your game going and you're going for tours. You
Mm-hmm.
have all of this stuff. You have a lot of gigs going on. Why
Yeah,
not? But the key is be consistent.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, look, let's move on. I want to get to some rapid fire questions before I let you go,
Come on.
because we just want to, right off the top of your head, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and
uh,
we're gonna kind of go from there and see what happens. Okay.
okay.
All right. Number one, what's an online source that you cannot live without?
A good one. So, for me, 3 sources I know every other day I'm with. Jim Maxwell, John C. Maxwell,
Yeah, Jim. Yeah,
uh,
John Maxwell. Yeah.
yeah, Bishop T. Jakes,
Okay.
and web designer Depot.
So are these
So,
podcasts or is it just like internet type of stuff?
their
Or
website, all like from social media to their website,
wow.
you know, all all their platforms. So these 3 sources, like I don't joke with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're like every day,
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. So if you had no constraints with money, time, or location, what would your perfect day look like? No restraints, period. Like, what would you do if you had everything that you
uh,
had?
organize and finance large worship concerts. I'll
Really?
build places of worship. I'll build free mega learning centers to equip young people for the future. As I believe in
Wow.
young people. They
Wow.
are the future.
So
Yeah, that is best.
like a school for,
Schools, learning center,
yeah.
and just anything to equip young people. I'll do that. Mhm.
That's cool, man. So if you could go back and give your younger self advice, what would that advice be?
Um, well, first of all, I'll thank him for the brave choices he made. Then I'll say to him, do it all over again, more intelligently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So where could people get in contact with you?
Through my website, phenomenon.com, and of course across social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Sweet,
Yeah.
sweet, sweet, sweet. Man, I thoroughly appreciate you, man. Like for real, for real.
I
You have been a
appreciate it.
blessing. And I know I keep telling you as many times as I see you how much I appreciate you, man. You've been a
Appreciate you too, babe.
wonder for Sanctified Sound, man. And
Thank you.
I love you and your family, man. I miss y'all so much during this whole lockdown and everything. So, man, we're gonna get together soon. I definitely want to have you
I
back.
know.
I definitely want to have
I
you back, and
know.
this
Thank
time
you.
do a video because I know with
Yeah.
certain because this is a topic that is going to be reoccurring because people don't
Uh,
really understand the whole online things on a practical level, and so I know you're the genius when it comes to this type of stuff. Somebody I look to. Um, so I definitely want to, try to get you back in. Probably next time do a
yeah.
video interview and everything. So, but man, I thoroughly appreciate you, man. Um,
Appreciate you too, babe.
yeah. So this has been Music Talks podcast. My name once again, Victor, your music mentor, and we will see you next time. When I was younger, I used to watch my mom a lot, and I was baffled at why it would always seem that she got the best deals, the best parking spaces. Her payments decreased from credit cards, payment companies giving her credits, free things coming into the house every week. Man, it's crazy, but I mean, when I would try to do those same things that I literally just saw her do, it wouldn't work for me. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what it was that she was doing that always had her coming out on top. And so I asked her why, and she said that she felt like she was supposed to have those things, that, she expected blessings to flow her way because she was God's child. And, now we say those things, but my mom actually literally believed that she was owed victory in every area of her life. in Deuteronomy 28:13, it says, the Lord will make you the head and not the tail, and you will always come out on top and never on the bottom. You know, I could actually go many different ways with that story, but this is the way I actually want to bring it to you. There are a lot of artists that start their career with great expectations, but in the heart of hearts, they don't actually believe that success will follow them. And frustration sets in, and suddenly they've created a culture of losing until one day they just give up and quit. You know, I've observed my mom winning, and I've also observed her losing. And this is the only thing that separated her from a lot of people that I've encountered, is that she always celebrated her small victories. Are you celebrating every one of your accomplishments? You know, I know that we like to celebrate the big, significant wins, but in celebrating every victory you have, you create what I like to call a winning culture. And your celebrations can be big or small, but always acknowledge your winnings. And in that vein, you will start to see yourself winning a lot more, which will motivate you to keep going hard towards your career. Now, yes, learn from your losses, but don't dwell on them past that point. Philippians 4:8 says, one final thing, fix your thoughts on what is true, honorable, right, pure, and lovely, and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And what we celebrate becomes reality. Are you celebrating your failures by constantly focusing on them? Yes, use your failures to push you, but celebrate every success that you have. And in that way, you start to create a winning culture that will overcome many more obstacles that come your way. Now, God has delivered you, He blessed you, and He saved you. And if He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore, what makes you think that He will never do it again? But in celebrating those wins, you give glory to God, and He will set you up for more success, thus creating a winning culture. Hey, we look forward to seeing you real soon, so be sure to connect with us on social media. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can also check out our YouTube page or simply visit our website just to see what new and exciting things are happening in a city near you. Everything is in the description box below, so go and check it out, okay? See you soon.